الله من قتلك ولعن الله من شرك في دمك ولعن الله من بلغه ذلك فرضي به أنا إلى الله من ذلك بريء. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إياكم والفحش فإن الله لا يحب الفحش والتفحش. I think those who know what this hadith is about, they know what the subject is about. Yes? Okay. One of the problems, the diseases that we have, that sometimes we find hard to give up, is to control our tongues when it comes to foul language. It becomes as easy as drinking water. And sometimes we don't care who's next to us. I say it as it comes in. And sometimes it might add a flavor to my talking. The more F's I say, the more D's I say, the more H's I say, the more natural and sweet my talk would be, correct? This is the shaitan trying to what? Mess with you, trying to make things sweeter than what they are. Where in fact, a logical person, a smart person, if he sits and listens to you, he says that you have a problem, that you are sick. You think it's nice. People don't think it's nice. Allah doesn't think it's nice. The hadith that I just read from you, he says, the Prophet ﷺ says, Allah hates those who have foul mouths, those who swear, those who curse. Allah hates them. You're thinking you're doing something nice, but you're not. So in the same way that when you ride a horse, if you have a wild horse, you need to maintain and tame and control that horse, correct? Otherwise what happens? The horse will throw you out and you'll break your neck or your back and you will die eventually, or kills you. So you need to control it. If you don't control it, you're in trouble. The tongue is like that wild horse. We need to control it when it comes to talking and speaking. You can't just let her free. You can't just say whatever you want to say. You can't say to me, it's a freedom of speech. It's not. You might think saying bad words is nice, but you're harming me. Every time you're next to me and you say something bad, you're harming me. You're harming others with your words. Some people don't want to hear it. Does that make sense? So you can't say whatever you want to say. Okay? Now, I will read to you a few things that happens if you decide to use foul, bad language. It's not as easy as you think. Okay, one. Those who swear a lot, their weapon to defend themselves is what? Swearing. Because they're so weak, they can't argue, they can't talk back. What do? They swear. So the minute someone swears, you have to understand he's a weak person, because that's his weapon. A strong person would use what? Would use logic, would use his brain. He becomes wise. He uses strong words, or at least he becomes what? Quiet. I got nothing to say, I'm quiet. I don't have to use, bad words as weapons. So the swearing and bad language is a weapon of those who are weak. The Prophet ﷺ, he says those who use foul language and those who have bad mouths are actually not mu'mineen, because we want to be mu'mineen, correct? We want to be believers. The hadith says, okay, listen to this. He says, لَيْسَ الْمُؤْمِنُ بِالطَّعَانِ وَلَا اللَّعَانِ وَلَا الْفَحَاشِ. A mu'min is the one who does not use what? Bad words and foul words and language that is bad. If you swear and you say bad words, D words, A words, H words, whatever words you say them, C words, they are what? This is called what we call in Arabic fuhsh. They are bad, foul language. These words, if you say them, the Prophet says you are not what? You're not a believer. So you have to be what? Very careful. One. Two, he says the signs of a munafiq, the signs of hypocrites, are the ones who have bad mouths, foul mouths. They always swear. So the Prophet says, Al-bida'u wal-bayan shu'batan min al-shu'ab al-nifaq. He says, if you swear, and if you say things as they are, because sometimes they, oh, I'm just saying what the body part is. Yeah, that's swearing. There are certain words that sometimes we use other words to describe them. We don't say them as they are. Okay? So what happens is, if you use this foul language and you name things as they are, the Prophet says they are what? Okay, we'll get to that. If you do these things, it becomes what? Signs of hypocrisy. Sometimes when you go to school and you have to name body parts, there are medical terms and there are slang language. They're two different things. And even medical words, you can't just use it anywhere you want. For example, if you're in the masjid, you're only going to say these words. You say them when it's appropriate to say it, when it's time to say it. Okay? And you have to avoid the slang language when it comes to that. So that becomes what? A sign of those who are hypocrites, those who are munafiqeen. So if you swear, you take yourself out of the mu'mineen and you add yourself to the munafiqeen. All right, what else? It makes people hate you. It makes people what? Hate you. So the Prophet says, لا تسبوا الناس. Don't curse people. Don't use bad language. Why? فتكسبوا العداوة منهم. Then what happens? All you get what? Is the hatred of people. Like I said to you, the more you swear in front of me, you're not making me love you. You're not making me like you. You're making me what? Dislike you. You make me uncomfortable. You push me away from you. So foul language what? It makes people uncomfortable and makes them hate you. Again, then the Prophet says, those who swear are the worst are the people. Of the people. He says the hadith, إِنَّ مِن شَرِّ عِبَادِ اللَّهِ, the worst among the servants of Allah, who مَن تَكْرَهْ مُجَالَسَتَهُ لِفُحْشِهِ. You hate to sit next to them because what? They swear a lot. He says these ones that you hate to sit next to, they are the worst of people. So you need to be what? Be very careful that you don't fall in this category. Well, each has its own field. Don't try to mix things. So, what happens is the worst of people are the ones that you hate to sit next to them because of their foul language. We get to questions later. Again, the Prophet ﷺ, he moves a level higher. And he says, what happens in the afterlife? He says, those who swear a lot, those who curse too much, no. He says, they're not going to enter heaven. He's not enter heaven. He says, the Prophet ﷺ says, الجنة حرام على كل فاحش أن يدخلها. Anyone that uses bad language is not going to be a mu'min. He's going to be a hypocrite. He's going to be an enemy of the people, the worst of the people. Such person, is he going to go heaven? Of course not. How you want to enter heaven with a bad language, with a bad mouth? You want to be in heaven with the Prophet, with the mu'mineen, with the a'imma, with your bad foul mouth? It's not going to work. So you have to what? Cleanse and clean your mouth. You have to keep it always clean. Take a soap and wash your mouth with it. Keep it clean. Brush your teeth. Right? So the Prophet says, if you swear, then heaven is not for you. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he goes again and he says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ حَرَّمَ الْجَنَّةَ عَلَى كُلِّ فَحَّاشٍ بَذِيءَ الْقَوْلِ. Allah made Jannah haram for anyone that swears and that has bad mouth. Huh? And then he says, قَلِيلُ الْحَيَاءِ. Sometimes you swear and you don't care where you are. You're in the masjid, you swear. Which means what? You have no shame. You have no fear of embarrassment in front of others. So this is qalil al-haya. You have no shame. Okay, so you need to be very careful. We come to it. And then he says, the Prophet says, لا يبالي ما قال. He doesn't care what he says. He says, those ones who curse and swear and they don't care what they say, he says, Jannah, heaven, is not for them. So it's a choice you have to make. What am I going to be? A person with foul mouth and language and I say whatever I want and enter hell? Or am I going to be among the mu'mineen, the believers, and just use right, beautiful words and enter heaven? The choice is yours. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.